recently, my eyes were open to sexism in Hollywood because, we discussed it here. Thank you.
Stunning and brave?
I try to be.
Okay.
There's a lot of bravery here. We know that. My eyes were opened when I believe it was Christy Brinkley talked about on a podcast. She was asked to show her breasts in the movie Vacation, National Lampoon's Vacation, early 80s movie, and didn't want to do it. And all the powers that be at the studio were standing around a pool going like, let's go, let's see them, let's go.
Drop
Got
it.
the hot chick in the pool. Why is the top still on?
Yeah.
Right. That's when Beverly D'Angelo stepped up. She played Clark Griswold's, Chevy Chase's wife in the movie, and she stepped up and said, let's shoot an extra scene. I'll show you my tits. And that's how Christy Brinkley got out of having to show her breasts in the movie. Now, another eye-opening moment. A director, Catherine Hardwicke, of the movie Twilight, the original Twilight, which was a huge success, of course. That came out in 2008. She said, here's how Hollywood works. When male directors make a movie that does well, that cleans up at the box office, they're usually given big budget movies that they can do, a package like, here, we'll give you budget for 4 more movies that you can do. Sometimes they're gifted cars or vacations, or a hefty bonus. They'll say, here, we'll pay you $5 million over what we agreed to pay you. They gave her, after the opening weekend of Twilight, a mini cupcake and said,
nice. A dozen?
No, just one.
A single.
A single. She said, my male counterparts were getting multi-project deals. They were getting vehicles. They were buying vacation houses. And I was called in to the studio executive's office and given.
Here she is. Come on, everybody. Shh. Light the candle.
Well,
A mini.
I don't have a lighter. All right, well, just leave it.
For a mini cupcake.
There's no smoking in the building. Just leave it.
All right. Okay.
I know I don't want to come off as sexist, but I have some pushback on this.
Please. Yes.
I will admit one sexist thing about me is when I find out a movie was directed by a woman, I'm always surprised.
Wow. Okay. Stunning and brave.
Like there'll be a movie.
Brave,
there'll be like a hit movie or something, and they'll say the director. Now I'm like, a woman directed that? I can't help it. I know it's not right, but it's part of me. It's who I am.
Yes.
However, with this movie in particular, the book series was giant.
Yes.
I mean, I think this was almost a shoo-in #1 hit movie.
I don't think anyone was shocked that the movie was a hit.
No.
But I don't know. So, I mean, sometimes I see what she's saying. They shouldn't be giving male directors cars and things, but I don't think she broke new ground.
But I can already tell you, I mean, I see what you're saying. Yes, we knew ahead of time this is going to be a huge hit, but I can already tell you, I mean, without too much of a doubt, I think Superman's going to be a big hit,
I don't.
Get out of town. You don't think Superman's going to do well? It's getting good reviews.
I think it's going to start strong and fizzle quick.
Well, this is after the opening weekend. That's what they do a lot of times if you have a good opening weekend.
Is that what they really do to male directors?
So she says. She was interviewed.
Does that happen to Ron Howard? Does that happen to these other people? I don't know.
She did an interview with The Guardian, and she said, I will expose sexism in Hollywood here in a different way. And she said that, yes, Ron Howard or Steven Spielberg, when they're given a movie to do...
I can't imagine any company just tossing free stuff like that.
Well, I don't know. If when somebody exceeds their
So,
goal,
I mean, usually you have a contract.
Well, you do, but sometimes you'll do a here's a bonus. Here's especially if you want to keep Spielberg on for your next. Here's 3 more movies that.
Now I do see her point on the movie deal.
Mm-hmm.
If somebody has a hit movie and then they're given a 3-picture deal.
Here's another. Okay, let's say Chris Demm's right. Ron Howard gets nothing when whatever movie he does opens to a huge opening. Isn't it even more of a slap in the face to call her in and give her a cupcake?
I would
give her nothing.
Give her nothing. Just say great job on that.
It's like leaving a penny as a tip instead of just not leaving a tip at all.
Yeah, I mean, when you said The Guardian, that's a somewhat, I guess, respected organization because it smells so podcasty.
It does. It was not a podcast.
It just smells. It just sounds so outrageous.
It's not. It's not.
Look, I'm not saying there's not sexism in the movie biz.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I mean, you're going to give such and such guy, the guy who directed The Hangover, a Rolls Royce. She gets a mini cupcake.
Well, if let's say a movie like
Hadn't she directed other things too?
Well, she said that after she directed Twilight's opening movie, she thought there would be a ton of new opportunities for her, and it didn't materialize. I'm sure she has directed other things. She thought her career would take off, and she'd be a household name because she directed Twilight, and it didn't happen for her. She's not. I don't think many people know Catherine Hardwicke. I've heard the name.
Yeah.
But, I couldn't have told you who directed the Twilight, and she didn't get more movies to do because of that from the studio.
Well, again, I think a lot I think just has to do that it was treated with such a, hey, this is going to do great.
Yeah.
No matter what. It doesn't almost like the director is like so far down the list of importance for a movie like that.
I think the director is the most important. Well, maybe
no,
in a movie like that.
No, I
maybe
think the
not.
casting. I mean, the biggest thing was the casting of who's going to be who.
Yeah, they knew that was going to be a franchise.
Yeah.
But okay, let's say they do the movie next summer, Barbie 2. All right. That's going to be enormous. But I believe the director, Greta Gerwig, who got a lot of praise for directing Barbie, would probably get a lot of praise for part 2 if it comes off well also. I don't know if she'd get a bonus, but
Yeah.
I think she'd be paid really well to come back and direct Barbie 2. And I don't think they would take it away from her.
See, I think in her case that Barbie, more people probably were surprised how good Barbie was because everyone expected a gimmicky movie. Instead, it was actually pretty good.
I thought it was excellent.
Yeah, and you're like, okay. So I think she falls in the category more of surprise that the movie was actually good
I see.
than that it was a hit.
You sound sexy.
I'm trying. I
You
know.
sound sexy. How can this be good? Didn't a woman direct this?
I actually like this movie, and it says here directed by a female. I must have gotten the wrong print.
And it started young, too, because it started for me like with Wayne's World, because Wayne's World, I believe, was directed by a
By a
Oh,
woman.
that's true.
Oh, I'm really
Yeah.
surprised by that.
And
Wait a minute. I liked Wayne's World. Something's wrong.
Well,
And
the
as a
humor is
kid,
so
I saw-
sophomoric. I feel like the humor is a little sophomoric for a woman to be.
well, that's
directing.
when I saw as a kid, I was like, a woman? I was like, women can direct movies?
A woman directed Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
True.
And it's
Yeah.
tremendous. That is a great movie. Amy Heckerling, isn't that right?
I think that's right.
Mhm.
And she directed that, and it's like a high school teen movie with a lot of heavy subject matter, and it's fantastic. Now, I had a friend once who said he would not read a book by a female author. He didn't want to come off sexist. He just like, I don't like the way women write. And even I said to him, and
Yeah.
I see.
You in your agreement phase?
Preach, brother.
Yeah, I was like, really? You're not going to read? I think I was reading a book by a woman. And he goes, what are you doing? Reading a book by a woman.
Hadn't Stephen King written a book? What are you doing? Read Little Women.
Yeah, it's probably Little Women.
Why are you reading something like that? I've not read Little Women. I want to read Little Women. I hear that's tremendous. I've heard
You may have lost the opening with your daughter to read it together.
Yeah.
Is that something we should be doing? She only reads one book, the Bible.
Oh, that's right.
Mhm.
That's right. That's
She
right,
reads the
that's right.
Bible on the beach. I
Still
told
the bestseller.
That's right, the best ever. And I said to her, I've got a real good book you can read. She goes, I have the
Me too.
good book. And she's highlighting passages and so forth.
Mhm.
She does a lot of that, which, how can you say, what kind of father says, put down the Bible and take the Stephen King book. Come on, loosen up and have a little fun.
Pick up a Twilight book.
Come on.
Is she to
geez.
the point where she highlights her favorite?
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I mean, she's got dog-eared pages and highlight. I looked through it the other day. She had it on the beach, and she was reading it, and I saw all the highlights.
Are you trying to hide your pot in it?
What's going on here?
Give me that Bible. Cops are coming.
I could not believe it. Here's the Gary Coleman update.
You're going to have to back up on this. I can't remember when he passed.
Gary Coleman.
When you mentioned his ex-wife, did she call 911 but could not render first aid?
Correct. She said
He fell down a flight of stairs?
Yes.
And they said, go to him and render first aid. And she said,
I can't, too much blood or
Yeah,
something? I'm
it was-
queasy.
There's too much blood.
He's been dead 15 years, believe it or not.
15.
I said
2010.
I guessed 8. I guessed 8 years. Well, they're doing a new show. I believe it's on A&E, where they have people take lie detector tests about controversial things that have happened.
No. Did she do it?
She did.
Oh, what
Oh,
a terrible
no.
idea.
How much do they pay her?
That's got to be major. I mean, that's got to be a huge payout to do
This
something.
cannot end well.
Right. Well, here's a little bit of it. They're promoting the show, which comes out next week. This is Gary Coleman's wife, who was there.
What's her name? Do we know?
The story was he fell down the stairs and she called 911, as you said, but did not render any.
We used to
first
have
aid.
the call.
Oh, that's right. We did. We probably still do. First episode of a show called Lie Detector, Truth or Deception. Her name is Shannon Price.
Okay.
And here she is on the show being asked about it.
The exam had to do with Gary's fatal fall.
Okay.
I asked you the following relevant questions on this test. Did you physically cause Gary's fall? Mm-hmm. You answered no.
Right.
I also asked you, did you physically cause Gary to fall that day? And you answered no. And the results are, you failed that exam with deception regarding Gary's fall.
That's false.
How can that be? Here's the 911 call.
Wow. So basically, he asked her, now, unless we're getting tricked with editing, did you cause him to fall? No, liar.
That's right. That's right.
Now, we should also point out, right, that not a single court in the land will admit a lie detector test.
That's true.
Correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
As evidence.
That's right.
We do have, not only do we have her 911 call, we have a very awkward interview that she did after his death.
Okay, here's the 911 call after he fell down the stairs.
Her head is bloody. There's blood all over the floor. I don't know what happened. I really don't know what happened.
The 911 operator tells Shannon to apply pressure to his wound, but she refuses.
I just can't be here with the blood. I'm sorry. I can't do it. I can't. I've just been kind of sick, and, I don't want to be traumatized.
I just can't get over there close.
I don't want to be traumatized. Your husband's bleeding to death at the foot of the stairs. I know. Don't you think that's enough?
It's coming back to me now. The 911 call came out, which was criticized, but then she didn't help her case with the interview.
I did help him. I actually had to run around looking for a towel because we didn't have any in the downstairs bathroom. Other people need to understand and realize this was the first real traumatic situation I'd ever had to witness.
It was real. Think about me for a second. All right?
Poor
These are
Gary.
good towels. I grabbed a whole box of Kleenex.
Gary's.
Okay? I am not using the guest towel.
Gary's on the floor. Hold on, I'm looking for towels.
Well, since those two things, it's the 911 call. And
What about the kitchen? These are dirty.
Maybe if you had done the laundry, we'd have towels. I ask you to do one thing when I'm gone.
What about a beach towel from the Cabana house?
You think I'm going all the way out to the Cabana house? Come on. So
You're bleeding to death, Gary. I haven't got time for that.
Since that time, people have thought, because of those two things, maybe she had something to do with his death.
You should run this past your wife. See if she picks up on the scent.
A little true crime. I mean, we're in the off season.
Yeah,
of
it
true
fills
crime
the
right now.
void.
So now she's like, let me go on A&E and clear up, clear the record here.
I need to fix my reputation.
I think she forgot about the 911 call and the interview after.
Hey, the show is called Lie Detector, Truth or Deception. It premieres tomorrow night on A&E.
That might be worth watching.
Oh, my God.
Oh, Shannon.
That did not come off well at all. Jeez.